Konnichiwa and welcome to Tokyo. What better place to start my next adventure than this Japanese capital, because I'm going to be traveling on Design Airline of the Year for Asia 2023 China Airlines. Follow me as we find out why this airline was awarded such a prestigious gong at our awards last year.
So before I start, if you haven't already seen my China Airlines A350 review on my way to Japan, don't forget to watch that on our channel too. So for this flight, I make my way back from Tokyo to Taipei and then on to Frankfurt, all on the 777-300ER. China Airlines flies from Narita's Terminal 2, which is approximately 55 minutes away from Tokyo's centre on the Narita Express. As China Airlines operates quite a few wide-bodied aircraft on this route, there were plenty of check-in desks, and we were checking in as soon as we arrived at the dedicated business class counter. It's great to see that Narita offers a dedicated fast track for business and first-class passengers, which was also empty, meaning an easy breezy arrival, and we were headed to the airline's lounge in less than 10 minutes from arriving at the airport. The lounge has been around for quite some time and, well, it's not that much to write home about, but it is a spacious, well-organised space that features plenty of seating, views across the apron, and a few design touches that reflect this Taiwanese carrier's origins. There were various noodles, soups and hot food options, as well as an automated beer machine and a range of chilled drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. As our aircraft arrived, it was soon time to head to the gate for this 3-hour hop to Taiwan. Although the gate was crammed, not a surprise with 360 seats on this plane, the boarding was orderly and business class were boarded first. China Airlines uses 2 doors for boarding, which is a nice touch. Both China Airlines A350 and 777 have a similar aesthetic, although the A350 is smarter, with the addition of more royal blue colours. This interior, however, which came out first, is more residential, with earthier natural tones flooding the cabin, topped and tailed in persimmon wood veneer. The seats are a little more tired, but they are more spacious too, and they are some of the most comfortable in my view. The seat has plenty of storage, with both a deep pocket and shallow tray for personal items, along with a raisable armrest which also features storage. On boarding, it's filled with the airline's noise-cancelling headphones, which are already being upgraded. There's also a familiar personal hand controller, reading light, and ambient side lamp, as well as seat controls and a wide retractable table. Even on this short-haul flight, there were amenities, with blankets and pillows, and a welcome drink was served. Before menus were handed out, we were offered hot towels, but even though the menu was extensive, I opted to use the pre-order service, which allows passengers to reserve their dish prior to the flight. I'm impressed how extensive the menu was on this short-haul flight, and the addition of Japanese sake on the route was a lovely touch. I was gonna have to try this. As I settled into the seat, I opened up the IFE system, which is just the same as the Airlines A350, comprehensive, albeit not with the widest selection of latest releases, but I do love the graphical interface. Shortly after takeoff, the crew leaped into action, setting everyone's tables. The one thing that's really impressive with China Airlines is that the crew really love what they do and go above and beyond every time. After takeoff, I was served champagne, the Japanese sake, and China Airlines selection of nuts and dried fruits. Literally 20 minutes later, I was presented with this gloriously presented Japanese selection of food, accompanied by pickles, rice and miso, as well as a top-up of the airline's mid-range French champagne. The grilled flounder was delicious, but I can't believe how stunning this lunch was, which was followed by some fruits and Japanese sweets. As the flight was pretty short, there was just enough time to watch a movie, settle into the seat, and of course go investigate the airline's toilets, which were decorated with beautiful ink paintings and featured pure altitude amenities and both a window and piped music to add a little atmosphere. As we started our descent, I opted for a green tea, and then the crew prepared the aircraft for landing into Taipei. I was excited as I was able to head back to the airline's signature lounge, which is one of the airline's most impressive design features. As we got off the aircraft, I was pleasantly surprised to see the transfer point was directly in front of us, meaning after a quick security check, we were airside again and able to walk, a rather long walk, to the lounge. We were able to explore a variety of games areas and an interactive aquarium which will keep kids amused for hours, no matter how old they are. After getting in our steps for the day, we found our way to the signature China Airlines lounge, which is in the same complex as the Starlux lounge. China Airlines has opted for a Chinese tea room design, which is a world away from the airport terminal, with a sea of wooden panels, stone and slate walls, mirrored ceilings, and warm tungsten-toned lamps. We were lucky enough to secure ourselves entrance into the airline's VIP lounge, which used to be for the airline's first-class passengers, but now it's just for Paragon and Emerald members. This smaller lounge offers an a la carte menu, private seating zones, and a more exclusive selection of drinks and foods, while still being able to enjoy the wider lounge complex. Talking of which, we decided to explore the main business class lounge, which features a large central kitchen area surrounded by comfortable sofas, separated by stunning hanging lamps. Although there's little to no natural light, the lounge feels homely and is the perfect place to relax between flights. Having smelt the noodles in the kitchen, I headed back to the VIP lounge and decided to pick something from the a la carte menu. As well as a great beef noodle soup, there was also a spicy wonton dish, which was also amazing. So amazing I ended up having a second helping. Sadly, all too soon it was time to leave and get onto our 15-hour flight to Frankfurt. The lounge was only a short stroll from our gate, and by the time we arrived, the gate was a hubbub of activity, but yet again the Sky priority lanes were clearly marked, and we were lucky enough to be able to board first. The aircraft was identical to the one that we had just flown on, so there weren't any real surprises there. Opting for the second row meant that we were some of the first to be served, but far away enough from the galley not to be disturbed. The middle seats are perfect for couples, but be warned, you do sit quite far away from each other. On boarding, the crew were already prepping our seats for sleep, opting to prepare the bed with a mattress topper and then gave us a tour of the full seat. For China Airlines long-haul flights, it offers upgraded bedding, which was much nicer and softer than our previous short-haul trip. Inside the storage were slippers and Evian water, as well as the charging ports you might want, although being an older seat, there's no USB-C yet. During boarding, there were welcome drinks again and hot towels. And yet again we were presented with menus, although we had both opted to pre-order the signature 3 Michelin-starred lobster menu so as not to miss this unique opportunity. Also during boarding, we were presented with the North Face amenity kits. They were good, but did seem a bit of a weird fit for this brand, so I'm happy to see that the airline now has partnered with Moschino for its long-haul business class flights. After pushback, the mood lights were changed, and being a night flight, the lights were never raised more than a warm glow throughout the entire trip. After takeoff, service once again began pretty quickly, this time to maximise the sleep on this ultra long-haul flight. After champagne and nuts were served as a post-departure drink, the main course was brought out, and I have to say the presentation was incredible, and the taste was great too. With a range of side dishes and pickles, I was in dining heaven. Albeit eating this late at night, I wolfed it down to be able to get some much needed rest. Sadly, the after-dinner fruit and desserts were a little less to my taste, but the presentation was still simple yet stunning. As the lights were dimmed, it was time to make the bed, and it's one of the most comfortable I've slept on, albeit the airbag in the seatbelt was heavy and a little uncomfortable. I'll always prefer the 3-point seatbelt as it means your sleep is less interrupted. It's a small trade-off for wearing the shoulder harness during takeoff. After a few hours sleep, I woke up and decided to head to the Sky Lounge. This is the mid-galley walk-up bar area, which is a beautifully presented social space that has a range of Taiwanese snacks I've never even heard of, as well as teas, noodle pots, and what used to be a selection of books and magazines, which I hope they bring back soon. There's also an engraved poetry quote in the walls next to the doors, which is a nice conversation starter while stretching your legs, either with the crew or other passengers. I have to say, I loved the space and I loved almost all of the snacks. For the sake of the review, I forced myself to take a mid-flight snack as well, which was a truffle pizza cum focaccia, which packed a powerful truffle flavour. I then drifted off for a few more hours sleep, waking up over turkey and opting for a second mid-flight snack. Let me remind you, this was a 15-hour flight. This time it was a beef noodle bowl, which was the perfect pick-me-up. I noticed quite a few people were already starting to wake up at this point, but it wasn't until 2 hours before landing that breakfast was served, which gave me just enough time to freshen up, head back to my seat, and order a coffee to set me up for the day ahead. I opted for the Western breakfast, which was tasty, but felt like a bit of a letdown after all the amazing dishes I had had throughout this experience. Meanwhile, the Chinese congee breakfast was a lot more enticing, with a very salty egg and lots of garnishes. There was just enough time for a double espresso before the crew prepared the cabin for arrival, and it gave me once again time to reflect on the overall travel experience. China Airlines is a wonderfully underrated airline, well, not by the DesignAir at least. It's a myriad of design touches across its fleet, but it's the small details that really resonate. From the tableware to the simple drinks coasters that offer a range of ink designs, from the tea house inspired lounge to the Michelin-starred menus. There's an array of design and customer experience-led initiatives that push China Airlines to be one of the leading airlines in the world. Sure, there are a few bits which could be improved, but the airline is already doing this. Recently, the airline announced it is upgrading its 777 interiors. The amenity kits have already been replaced, and short of pyjamas in business class, perhaps the only thing missing, there's little that can be improved upon. So thank you so much once again for following. Please do comment and like and subscribe, and if you want to see our flight on the Airlines A350, don't forget to give that a watch too. Until next time, safe flying.